care of you and in that family.
I really have to at the moment. Maybe I'm going to take the talent work stream. I keep it there. Okay, cool. We'll just wait 1 or 2 more minutes to have everyone join. Hi, D-Side.
Hey, GM.
Hey, GM.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
That's good. Getting any sleep these days?
Oh, it's hard. It's hard. I'm lacking sleep, and I'm lacking a little bit of the confidence I used to have when I do the rest of my things in life.
Humbling, huh?
Yeah, it's really, really humbling. My God. But yeah, I enjoy that I feel more confident every day. That's the good part of it. Yes, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
So I see a lot of people have joined. Thanks for joining today. This is the first session of the PM Guild in Season 5. I hope everyone had a great gap week and you were able to relax and refresh, and you feel like this is a great start into Season 5. I just posted the minutes into the channel so we can work our way through this one. And I don't know if, Jikal, are we continuing to record? And if so, who is recording? Or should we talk about this today as well, how we arrange this process-wise?
Yeah, I am recording already.
Ah, cool. Thank you, Vicky1. Great.
Yeah, and Vicky1, after this, if you want, maybe you and I can chat over DMs of if you want to get me the recordings, I can upload them to the YouTube channel. Because I think we have one from a couple weeks ago still we need to get up.
Yeah, I will send both of them to the Dash. I just gained access to the Dash recently, so I will send both to you.
All right, thank you. And I'll get them both posted as soon as I have them.
You're welcome.
Perfect. So today will be basically consisting from 3 main elements. One is a Kanban board review, where we should just take a look at the remaining items of the Season 4 Kanban board and then decide what we want to do with them. And in case we want to continue working on them, then we should put them on a new board, so it just gets a little bit easier to have an overview. And then for some of you, maybe you joined the session on earlier this week, Swal, Jikal, and me had a brainstorming as to how we want to achieve the Season 5 goals, alignment on vision, and what we think we should do to continue on our to continue staying on our vision that we already defined in Season 4. And the idea is today to present this to you as the rest of the guild and see if you guys resonate with these ideas. And so at the end of this session, we hopefully have a good view as to what we want to achieve in this season. And yeah, once we have these 3 elements, I think we're done for today. Anything else that you feel should be discussed that you want to hear information about or something like that? Nothing? Okay, cool. Then just a few housekeeping information up front. We are going to see the coordinate round disbursement for Season 4. I think I'm going to be able to do that on Monday. And I will first, before I do that, post a an Excel sheet that shows the results of the coordinate round. So this one will also have your ETH address, so you can make sure that the address is the right one that we will be sending this to. The one thing that I'm going to have to do before that is I will have to give a short message to grants committee, because we changed our definition of the active members compared to the season 4 proposal. So I want to get approval from grants committee that they still follow our definition or newer definition of active members. That is basically the basis for disbursement of the funds. And then GCal, I think you refreshed PM Start here, right? Or did you just take over?
Nope, I refreshed it. So if anyone wants to go take a look and come in, I think what we're doing right now is continuing to anyone that comes in and says, "Hey, I want to join." We're kind of pointing them there, so that's up to date now. Hash Brown had recommended we put the season 5 videos, so the plan on a page video is there. The workstream lead sync video is there, so anyone new could watch those two. And granted, it's an hour of content, but get a really good understanding of where we're at and what we're working on for this season. So I think it's a nice start. But I'll be excited to talk more about the kind of progress we want to make this season with onboarding.
Cool. All right, thanks for that. And then recording is done by Wiki1, so this is already clear. And then I would like to go to the Kanban board real quick. I'm going to share my screen now because I'm going to go through the items, and then maybe it's easier if you see what I see. So let me know if you can see my Notion. You see it? Hello?
You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can see.
Okay, perfect. That sounds very good. Okay, so I'm going to maybe just collapse this real quick so it's easier to go through this. Retrospectives, since we are still offering retrospectives as a service this season, let's just see what's still open. I think we still have created a short description of retrospective as a service. JP, is this something that also connects to what you have been delivering? Is JP here?
JP's not, but I think it's safe to say that it is.
Because then I'm going to just assign this to him. Not sure. Does anyone know his? No, hold on. He has another item.
I'm not too sure what his Notion account is. But I definitely feel like with that latest
exactly. Let's
thing,
just see,
definitely.
because I have. Okay, I'll fix
I'll
that.
say I've seen it. I saw it on the board earlier when I was out there.
Yeah, me too. Okay, I'll take care that this is assigned correctly, but it's definitely something that's ongoing. So this one, research which projects are interested in running a retrospective. So in season 4, we were just doing a little bit of a reach out to all projects, asking them whether they are interested in running or having a retrospective being run by the PM Guild. And I just think this is a great opportunity for people also to train running retrospectives. If you're not, if not, then you can also join it and listen in. And I think we should also do something like this, which essentially means we just have to put a quick question into Discord, tagging the project managers of all projects, ask them whether they're interested in running a retrospective, and chase them a little bit so we make sure we get feedback from each of them. Sometimes they are just not so active when they get tagged in the PM channel. Is this something that someone wants to take on? Again, it's just making sure that all project managers or all project champions, that's the correct term for all projects are being asked whether they are interested in running a retrospective as a service, and if they are interested, then inform them about the 6K bank fee, and then just add these as new items here, just like this one, retrospective for Fight Club. Is this something someone is interested to take on? If not, I'm going to pick it, of course.
Yeah. So, to be sure, it's just about going to guilds and asking them if they want to have a recipe, right?
Yeah, just to all projects, yeah?
Okay, does that include projects or guilds that have done their recto before? I mean, last season.
Can you say that again? Which projects and guilds?
Okay, I said the tax, does that include going to projects or guilds that have done a retro before?
Say so.
I'm talking about last season right now.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Season.
Yeah. So, Rene, so basically, like, whilst Nikhil's reaching out to, like, get interest from new projects, are they also reaching out to people that we've done retrospectives and facilitate retrospectives for? And I'd say
Yeah. Yes, of course. It's to all projects and all guilds, also for those who have done a retrospective in Season 4, because we cannot know whether they are still interested because they need to pay the 6K bank, and maybe they don't have budget for that. Or, for example, like for Ray Bankless, you have already taken this over, which project was that?
In the international medium, we did the first one. And I recorded it, but I just didn't upload it somewhere.
That's fine.
We will have it monthly as we spoke.
Exactly. So in this case, the project learned from us how to run a retrospective, and they are running them themselves, which is also a version that we highly encourage. So it's great if a project can do the retrospectives themselves. We can also train them in running a retrospective, just like we are running the retrospective ourselves. The only downside is basically if you have someone in the project run a retrospective, then this person is the moderator, so they cannot lean back and take part of the retrospective as actively. So sometimes it's useful to have someone else run the retrospective. But Makil, do you want to take it on then?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Sure.
Cool. Awesome. What's your Notion handle? Akio. Akio, are you there? Okay, I'll clarify that. Yeah, okay. I'll clarify that in a moment. Okay, cool. I have one item that I have to still do from our own retrospective from last season. That's make our KPIs more visible, and I think this is going to be an output from what we are going to discuss today, and maybe we can agree on KPIs for season 5 today. If not, then soon, and I will make sure that we see them regularly and our performance to them. This one, find a way how we get guild and projects to use our services more. Actually, I'm wondering if this is something that we will have in the work streams.
Yeah, I think that comes into the talent work stream. If what we talked about from our 3 themes of good vibes, onboarding, and then using our services, exactly. you can move that over to talent work stream.
Cool, and you can of course modify it whenever you feel it should be different. Then set up a thought leadership session every 3 weeks to expand on the evolution of Agile in Web 3. This one is still ongoing with Justice. So in principle, for those who don't know this, Justice, who has had a really great presentation in PM Guild and has been a member of PM Guild for a while, has also a podcast called The Modern Agilist, and we are going to set up later in August and then hopefully once a month a podcast special of the Modern Agile list that will encompass people from Bankless DAO, PM Guild, and then other thought leaders of project management in the Web3 space. And this will be hosted under the Modern Agilist umbrella. The idea is just that this way we already have all the brand and all the technical setup. So it's much easier to give this some reach, which I really like. So I'm super excited about this. This is something that I'm going to take on.
I want to echo that a little bit as well, if that's all right. Just power it on top. Also, the other thing with Modern Agilist is that it's got a big Web 2 audience. So I think it's really good in trying to orient people into Web 3 from the PM perspective and kind of give them, it's about reinforcing our message of us being the hub of PM thought leadership in this space. And obviously we could do the same thing through Podcast Hatchery, but it's not going to have that reach into people that want to maybe take a move from Web 2 traditional orgs into DAO space. So I think that's another thing to consider with Modern Agilist as well, is their audience kind of who we want to onboard basically into this space.
Exactly. So thanks for adding that. That's absolutely, I don't know why this is not happening. This is absolutely one of the items that next to, of course, the talent and education workstream that I'm super excited to give our build more reach apart from Bankless DAO. Then create a pitch poster for PM Guild services. JP has put a draft in the channel, and I hope others also give feedback to this one. Once this is completed, then this is great. I think also for D-Side, who is also here representing, amongst other things, Bankless Consulting. And as soon as this one is completed, then we can see whether our services can be offered through Bankless Consulting to other DAOs. All right, so much to guild visibility and retrospectives. And I'm going to just take on administration for a moment, because then talent workstream, education workstream, I'm just going to hand over to GCal and Swall respectively. Coordinating for season 4, this is actually completed, and a review outcome of feedback form. This is something that I also want to do this week, and of course Swall and links if you join in the meantime. Nope, but Swall and links, this is the feedback form that the guild members gave to each of us on the role and how well we did in our role in the last season. So this is a review that I'm definitely going to do, and I'm assuming Swall as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen it before the S5, or maybe something to consider in future for the next season.
I think
we try and get that done beforehand, so there's clear learning points for us if we need to consider stuff before we go for vote again.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was there in the channel. I can try and find it for you again. I think it's there since a moment. So I'll just send it to you once I found it. Yeah.
Yeah, no rush. Cheers. Thank you.
Cool. All right, then I'm going to. Let's just see GCal Swall. Do you think we should go now through these items, or does it make sense to first go through your ideas and then go back to the Kanban board and embed whatever's there into what your ideas are? What's better? Because I don't want to
from my perspective for the education work stream, I'd like to just, because I've made some notes on the agenda of kind of what I want to pick up. Yeah. Sorry, I can't get my words out. Having a bit of a frontal lobotomy today. And basically, I think that will probably change what the Kanban board looks like currently, because there's probably things in there that I might want to get rid of and add. So yeah, if we could just quickly pick up on those points. GCal, what do you want to follow the same sort of principle?
Yeah, let's do. Let's talk about our points. I did. I had some time this morning before my daughter woke up, so I did a little Kanban board hygiene. So I can talk and maybe ask for some volunteers on a few of the items. But let's see where we get to. It's. I want to make sure we use our time, and I don't go too long on some of it.
Cool. Okay, then proposal, since at least in the meeting agenda we have talent workstream first, then why don't we continue with the Kanban board for a talent workstream and then hop over to the meeting notes for education workstream, right? Then just share my screen and then GCal, over to you.
Yeah, great, thanks. Yeah, if you could bring that up. So there's a couple leftover tasks from season 4, and I think that's those top 3s: activities collected in our retro, reach out to community managers, and then decide upon new member intake process. Although I tagged you, Ray Bankless, in there because I'm wondering if that decide on new member intake process overlaps with your create onboarding document for a new PM guild. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, either now or we could do that asynchronously. Totally up to you.
For the sake of timing of the meeting, I think we can do async in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, great. So you and I can catch up. But to stick with that, out of rewatching the plan on a page and then us jamming on Wednesday, really 3 major themes that we want to focus on this season. Good vibes, really our kind of engagement and culture, onboarding, and that's where I really want to pick up. Ray's already got some really good stuff flowing there. And then we were just talking about creating an opportunity for PMs to work across BDAO and then maybe potentially outside of it. So start with good vibes. As you can see, I tried to just put a tag at the front of good vibes, and we can talk about the best way to structure that. But I started to try and put some items out there and even write some user stories and definition of done if I understood them enough to do that. Where I'd love to start is, and I'm kind of acting as the PO, and I'm open to, I don't want it to sound like any of this is myself doing it or myself needing it. It's us as a group. So I was just trying to write it from the perspective of the talent work stream lead. But for the good vibes, I would love to run some kind of engagement survey, for lack of a better term, for our active members of let's baseline where we think our vibes are at. So if there's anyone who is interested in doing something like that, has experience putting together a survey, and wants to pick that one up, can speak up now, or again we can chat asynchronously and go into the Kanban board and assign it to yourself, and we can go back and forth. But nice, hopefully a nice short survey, a place for us to understand where we're at, and then maybe even some kind of free-form place for what do good vibes mean to you, and what things do you want to see us do within the guild to create those good vibes.
Cool.
Then the next one, onboarding. And Ray, I think this is one where I just want to start to continue to build on what you've been doing, and I would love to connect, walk through what you have, see what help you need. But I think one of the biggest things I've noticed is we have a lot of people who jump in the channel. They kind of introduce themselves. I've got this experience. We bounce them back to PM start here, and then maybe it sticks or maybe it doesn't. But we want them to show up in these meetings if they can. Swole, you had mentioned in our jam session on Wednesday, could we work with the Ops Guild and get some kind of bot that would take care of that first communication when someone jumps in, and then maybe even take them through a workflow of understanding what their base knowledge of PMing and Agile is, so we know where they're starting at. I haven't written any user stories or put a task out there for that, but I'm definitely interested. I know that would probably be a stretch goal, but I like where you were going with that.
Jim. Sorry, just to add, are you suggesting something like the first quest bot?
Yes, that's what I had in mind. Just kind of gets like a before someone gets into the main channel, sees all the noise, and just it's a bit like overwhelming at first. There's just like a bit of a process to basically help orient them into this guild, and also get a level of understanding of what their PM experience is like and that'll just help us be a bit more targeted. it's more like, right, so what's our demographic? If we got a bunch of experienced PMs, then that potentially changes the direction of what we are doing in season 5, maybe. In terms of what's going to be our focus. Well, we've got a ton of experienced PMs. Let's really put the gears on reaching out to other projects in a DAO, other guilds, and hopefully like further afield in the Web3 space in trying to get opportunity for them. If it's people who are coming in and they just want to learn PM, then, and if that makes up the majority of our demographic, then that kind of shifts it, right? It's like, right, main focus, a lot of the resources are going to be going into education and upskilling people to then go into that talent work stream, right? That's kind of where I'm coming from that. I just don't know how soon we can do that. Is it a feasible, like you said, GCal, it's like a stretch goal, right? Is it feasible to have this already like in place in season 5? Possibly, but really need the collaboration from ops, I think.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and that if anyone is interested in that one, I would say let's start to fill that out. I think that'd be a really, really cool idea. And then one of the last stories I had in there was the Research Bankless Academy. Justice is working with them on the Constitution, and kind of had pinged me saying like you should think about this from a talent perspective for onboarding as part of PM Guild. And then we heard it today for those of you who are on the Season 5 Twitter space, them kind of putting out a call to action around anyone who wants to use us, we're here. So anyone with interest there, I think we could maybe link up and see what Bankless Academy has to offer, and maybe that's part of our first quest bot. It links out to that.
So I've also got some thoughts, and I think this is where we kind of overlap.
Exactly, yeah.
So firstly, just want to say I'm successful in getting a PM role in Bankless Academy. So I start on Monday for 10 hours a week at first, and then see if I can increase those hours, and I'm really, really excited for that. Secondly is they've got an accreditation system. They've got a partnership with Mint Kudos, and they do stuff for other protocols, right? So is there potential for us from an education standpoint, providing a platform where people can come learn about project management in a Web3 context and get accredited through Bankless Academy? And that's something I don't think that's the MVP iteration of that product in season 5, but I think that's something I'd like us to get to, and it being a proper packaged product.
I think that's a great way to just start a project around it and involve people who want to learn the project management and also find the talent. Like it works both ways.
Yeah, GM, I would love to add about like people who want to learn about project management. There's this course, there's this Notion course that Ernest of Gaia has been running for quite a while now. I think if we take the same approach as that course, as the way the course is structured, like it broke down some key parts of Notion and stuff like that. If we take the same approach, I think it will be a very good course. It can be split into sections if you don't want to release it all at once, so people can take their time and go at their own pace. It's just a suggestion.
Yeah, something that's like bite size. Someone can get like a kind of like merit award at the end of it to just say that they've gone through it. Maybe some practical like simple questions at the end. I'm just conscious I don't want to take over GCal's spot here. We'll get to education work stream in a moment.
No, and as you said, friend, we're going to have a lot of overlap in these areas, so I think it's good. It's good talk. So last item is really one that's already in progress. So over on the in progress under create a place for projects to find PMs that Lynx owns. I think us just connecting with him. I'm not sure how active he's going to be in PM Guild this season, or if you know Renee. But this was something he had started, so we could connect with him, see where this is at, and continue to carry this forward.
I don't know as well how active he's going to be. I hope that he's still going to be active, and I'm going to take on clarifying with him what's with those items.
Okay. That is it for me. But and as I said, please, these are stories and some tasks I put up there, but really want to leverage all of your thoughts and this community as we build all this together.
Thank you so much. This sounds really exciting. I'm wondering just a little branch off of this. Currently, we have the project management guild tag, and I'm wondering if it makes sense to ask active members to take a new education or talent workstream tag, just so we create kind of identification of active members with talent or education workstream. Maybe this will how can you say this? Create more cohesion for those who are interested in helping to get these into reality.
I like that idea, and actually that raises a point that Swole and I were batting around earlier today around, I know Lynx was running a weekly meeting, and I need to see what my bandwidth is and also maybe see what other people's availability are. If we're still going to run some kind of talent workstream meeting, or if we're going to try to handle that in a more asynchronous way. He's canceled those sessions for now, but I think we need to learn into how we want to be able to coalesce and work together synchronously or asynchronously as a talent work stream.
Yeah. Let me think how we could set this up from a like operational perspective and propose that in the channel in a moment. Just to make sure that I want to also echo what GCal said a second ago. Whatever he mentioned here, and also what Swell is going to mention in the education work stream, they definitely don't have enough bandwidth to make this happen. So if we don't find people that support these activities, then basically we are not going to progress. So it would really be great if you are interested in supporting in the PM Guild, if you volunteer to help in either one of these items or in whatever Swell is going to present in a second. And of course, if you have questions, then reach out to GCal, Swell, or me. Okay, then just to ask, is there anything that someone thinks from a talent perspective you miss for the season? So something that you think has a higher priority than what GCal presented here? Or are you fine with this? I know that we don't have the full community in this session, but I think we can get a good idea as to whether we are running in the right direction now. Your chance to set other priorities.
This is already in the plans, in the Kanban, but I think the part where we try to find people project management jobs, at least like something that we can try, something that everyone can have a chance to do something, should be the priority, I think, in the talent perspective.
Mm-hmm. So it is a little bit related to create a place for project to find PMs. I'm not exactly thinking of a job board. I think from a general perspective, you're thinking about the allocation process between projects and project managers, right?
Yeah. Not like a job board, but yeah. The talent work stream trying to find project management tasks for the people in the project management guild. Can be in different levels of experience, but I think for starter people like me, is the priority. Would be the priority.
Mm-hmm. Mikael, what's your view on this?
I think I have a couple thoughts. One, I would, and this is where I don't know BDAO well enough, is there a way to get an inventory of approved projects so we at least know what has the potential need for PM?
We have an inventory of projects, and we even have a tool called Sobol. It's sobol.io. And
Yeah,
Sobol,
I think Greg knows something.
exactly, so
So all right, awesome. I didn't realize that we could do that with Sobel. So maybe Ray, you and I could connect and let's pull a list of projects, and at least start with that inventory. And then here's where kind of that overlap between Swole and I takes place: is how do we know who is skilled enough for us to try and make a match with on those projects? So if we were to start to do some kind of networking with the individuals running that project, and even if we couldn't get funding for a PM, could we get a PM in there just to get experience? But do we have
practical experience would be awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, in principle, Swole is the perfect example of how we could do it in a very MVP-ish way. Tetranome and I Speak Nerd from Bankless Academy reached out to me and asked whether we have a project manager. And I was just presenting it in the meetings here, really. And then Swole volunteered. I don't know if someone else or applied and someone else applied. I don't know that, but Swole was selected. So we actually lived this already. The only thing that we need to make sure is that our projects always know about this guild and that it exists and that they can reach out and that we can see whether we can provide someone. Whether then already this is a perfectly curated PM guild member, that's a different question. But maybe it's already something like if Tetranome asks me whether I endorse Swole, then yes, of course, I'm going to endorse Swole. So this is also of signaling value for Tetranome from Bankless Academy as well. Maybe that's already...
I've got another one. And I think this is, I should have mentioned this today. But Woon from Podcast Hatchery reached out to me. I basically dabbled in the amphitheatre for a bit and just spoke about PM Guild, and they were talking about like people's journeys so far in Bankless DAO, so I spoke about mine and blah 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 blah. He reached out and said like he really likes. Yeah, I was washing up and I had my headset on, so I thought I'll listen to the amphitheatre because I couldn't make the actual season 5 kickoff because I was working.
Right, cool.
But I just listened in, and then I just thought, sorry, I'll say my piece and stuff and listen to everyone else. And Woon reached out about the potential for PM Guild to support in some areas of their project management because that's something they feel like they're lacking. Now, that's the sort of opportunity that we can bring into the guild and hopefully so I have to sync up with Woon. He stuck a meeting in my diary for like 11 PM next Friday. I'll do it. It's fine. But yeah, that would be an opportunity where someone can go and take a stab at it because it's a good level project for a beginner, in my opinion. Beginner,
maybe
intermediate, whatever.
Also, that's a perfect example. And maybe we could add we could just add an item into the CC, like every week, that we just reinforce our message of, hey, if you need a project manager, then please reach out. Could also add this to grants committee whenever a project receives grants, then project management capabilities of PM Guild will be mentioned there, etc., etc.
Exactly.
Did we have a part in the newsletter?
We don't actually. I think we have
the weekly roll-up. Like it's a good one.
Yeah. No, please.
We can reach out to weekly roll-up and just have a little paragraph over there about us because people read it.
I think that's definitely something we wanted to do, wasn't it, Renee? But they're just
Yeah, actually, Hirakanelli reached out to me a few days ago and asked me whether I want to write a piece for Weekly Rollup, and I'm super down to that. It's just that, like many of you know, and for the rest who doesn't know, my son was born last week, so I'm currently a little bit short on time, but maybe if I'm going to do it in the coming 2-3 weeks, then this is definitely an option. And actually, I'm thinking of putting this to Guild Visibility real quick.
Absolutely. This is something that it doesn't just have to be you. Someone from the guild can have a stab at this, share the draft into the channel
sure.
to get everybody else's feedback, and then boom, active membership.
Someone interested in writing something for the Weekly Rollup?
Well, I don't think I'm a good writer.
Me either, Ray, but that's fine. Yeah, okay. So then if someone wants to take it up, then let me know. Else it's allocated to me. Oh, then thanks for the input, Ray. Anyone else on talent workstream before we go to education? Awesome. Good. Then I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I think Swell or part is then part of the meeting minutes. So then over to you, Swell.
Okay, so a few things that. Firstly, I feel like we covered the first point, right, by getting some tags for Edu and talent workstream. I kind of just want some guys, girls, theys to get together and flesh this out a bit more. I know for a fact I can't be the only person doing this, right? So if anyone's interested in the education workstream, and by the workstream for season 5, what I mean is an MVP of a learning journey where someone can get accredited at the end to show that they've learned a particular skill of project or demonstrated a particular skill using a tool, methodology, framework, whatever, of project management. So that is the kind of main steer for this season. I want an MVP complete. I just know I don't have capacity to do this all on my own, and I want to see less. So I really want to get that squared away. Second point, Ray, this is something you started, and for me, this feels like a bountyable task. Getting an accessible database for learning materials, now that's video, long and short form, articles, practical sessions, etc. I think that could be something that's ongoing, that we just keep building and building on a week by week basis, where someone's found an article, someone's found a cool video, someone's found like some nice like practical exercises that you can do. That's a workshop stuff, maybe not. That's going to be separate. But I'd like someone or some people in a rotation to put their hands up and have a go at this. If I create like a table on our Notion, so it's still in the same place, and we can just get some cool information down, links, some paragraphs, like just summaries, whatever, videos. That's something I'd want people to have a punt at. Is there anyone interested?
As well, I'm definitely going to support here. I'm wondering actually if GCal and Swell, if we should put a quick sesh item into our channels for people to allocate themselves to talent or education workstream. Maybe that's even easier. So we build little sub teams or something like that.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, I'll take that up.
Cool. So we can get this sorted async. Just wanted to make a point of that. Third point. So obviously, yeah, we spoke about my new role in Bankless Academy. I've also been working in Talent DAO as well. my capacity is getting really stretched. I do all of this Web3 DAO work in my evenings. I've got a full-time job for a cryptocurrency exchange as a product manager. So I'm a workhorse. I don't mind doing 30 additional hours a week, which is what I'm currently doing, because it's going to pay dividends in the future. But I just know it's going to come a point where if I'm the single point of failure, we're not going to progress in our aims and ambitions. So this suggestion's more for someone who wants to be like, I don't want to call it an apprentice. It could be a role sharer too, where I sacrifice like half of my allocation of bank for this role for someone else to take part, because I've had a difficulty aligning my times, like my schedule of availability in the evenings with everybody else here for a weekly sync meeting. And it's super important, I think, to have this weekly education sprint meeting. I just can't. I'm the blocker, basically. I'm the blocker. It's not about other people. It's about my time, my schedule not aligning. If I could do this during my working hours, then it would be different. I've got loads of capacity, but that's just not the case. So it's kind of like my ask. Either we give someone an opportunity to support that process in isolation, and I'll still support, like help with agendas and everything, and asynchronously catch up with everyone. But getting a sync time where people can make is just not happening for me at the moment, and I really want to do it. So I don't know what you guys feel. An apprentice, where either way I'm still going to delegate my bank through to coordinate. The allocation I'll get for season 5, I'm going to delegate. If it's a role share, it'll be 50%. I think if it's an apprentice, like 30 or something, we can work out the numbers. But I'd like to definitely get like a voting thing out for people who want to chuck their names in for that and vote some peeps in. What do you feel, Renee, GCal, and crew?
Yeah. So I would like to ask a question concerning that. So this education, this session, does it have to be like is it every Tuesday? Is it every Tuesday or Thursday?
It can be whatever the person who's running it and the availability for other people, like whatever works. Doesn't need to be a particular day. Obviously, it can't run at the same time as our guild call.
Okay, cool. Cause I was hoping if I get to like put myself up for that. I'm kind of like almost very busy every Tuesday, so probably Thursday or Fridays, and then I'll have to attend the first session, that is yours, and probably get the notes you used in conducting the first session. So we have kind of like the same thing. That's just saying that if I get to put myself there. I don't know. There are a lot of people in this call, so I'm pretty sure there are some that also want to take up the also.
Yeah, like absolutely, and it's good to ask those questions. It's just I want to make sure that there is dedicated time. And by looking at the last Lettuce Meet, when I tried to set this up, everyone had availability during my 9 to 5, which I just can't do. And I don't want to be the blocker from that happening, because if that means that you can get like 10 people in a call, that means there's more ideation, more iteration, and we keep moving forward. I don't want to be a blocker on that. So, yeah, I definitely would like people to have a punt at this. If we could do it the same way, Renee, as we vote for people, so people show, like, you know, put their names across who wants to do it, and then we do a vote. And then I am obviously more than happy to delegate what bank I would be compensated, because it's just something I can't do, and it's something I think is critical to the success of the education work stream. So, Renee, are you happy with that process?
Yeah, for sure. I'm super happy, Mikhail. Thanks for mentioning this. I was just wondering, Swell, if you want to mention this in the channel as well, because we're probably not the whole guild today in this meeting, and just to...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There'd be a call to action as a result. I just wanted to get the feelers out with people on the call.
Yep, I think it sounds great.
Okay, cool. I just, you know, I've been very lucky over the last 5 months. Opportunity keeps coming my way, and I still want to, maintain the mission. I think doing these weekly syncs and sprints is such a key part of us moving forward in the right direction of the education work stream. And I can't not do my 9 to 5 to facilitate this. And I just think whoever's facilitating that deserves an actual allocation of bank at the end of the season, and that can come from my share. I think that's only fair. So okay, cool. I'll do a call to action. We'll get some feelers out from the rest of the guys who wants to facilitate that. Take it in turns, whatever. We can figure out operationally how we track hours of that. Who's facilitated the call, who's managed a sprint, because again, it's another practical learning opportunity to go through the Kanban board for peeps. So there's a bit of a domino effect there. So 4th point, and this is the most important one. So this is the aim for season 5 from education standpoint, right? We've got our skill tree. We can add more to it as we go, that's fine. But we've got a really good starting point to actually build some learning tools, get a program of workshops in place to cover some of them. I want to get us in a position where by the end of season 5, we've used and tested an MVP within the guild of going through learning resources, using a skill tree, learning those topics, getting accredited through Mint Kudos. So that would be like a soulbound token to say that you've passed this, blah, 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 whatever. We can scope that out. That's my outcome of season 5. I want us to have an MVP that we can really start building upon in season 6. So I feel like that comes back to the point. I really want people to help me build that because I can't do it in isolation. It's got to be a guild effort there. And I know we've got me and GCal are going to have, and I'm assuming Renee as well, going to have a call with Space Monkey at some point as well around this, because that's another solution. Rep 3, I think it's called, if I'm right, GCal.
Yeah, that's right. It's Rep 3. And they were just on the Sobel Twitter space this morning, Ray. I didn't get a chance to jump on, but I think it was recorded out there.
It is recorded, but today people who cannot hear it, you were able to hear? Listen it?
I didn't get a chance to listen to it, but I saw in our chat that the audio might not have been good.
Yeah, it's recorded.
Cool. So yeah, the establishment of like a working group, we've discussed that. That's cool. We discussed the call to action for either apprentice or role sharer for the education work stream, and our MVP. Okay, so that's like the aims and ambitions. Let's have a look at the Kanban board, and I'll share my screen right now. It's fine. I've got it open. If you guys want to take a look. So, okay, so promotion of PM Guild as a learning hub ongoing. So for me, I don't even feel like this is a Kanban activity. This is like a ongoing business as usual, and I feel like it isn't just me that does this. I think this is everybody, right? Everyone who's in the guild, telling your friends, promoting it. We go on podcasts. It's all going to take part of promoting PM Guild as a learning hub, doing that internally to the DAO and elsewhere. So I'll keep it in progress for now, but I really just feel like this is just what we do on a day-to-day basis, right? Through different methods and forms, different channels. Touched on this. Should we set up a separate meeting series on educational content? Okay, so this is around like workshops, I believe, Renee, if I'm right, from what we discussed in our season 5 prep. And for that, I feel like we need to identify some of maybe the subject matter experts in the guild so they can deliver some workshops. Obviously, I don't mind doing one for retrospectives because I've done enough of them now here. Justice did his data-driven agility PowerPoint, which was awesome. Got a lot of learning from that. So just sort of similar things like just demonstrations of how to navigate a Kanban board, how to do workflows and all these things, I would like people to volunteer some time to, deliver a workshop throughout the week. It can be at any time because it's more bespoke. If people want to join that, they can, and we can do multiple versions of the same workshop throughout the seasons. So would like some volunteers for that. So again, Renee, that will probably be another call to action.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to say set up, let us meet for each work stream. Sprint is done because I tried, couldn't get time to align with my schedule. So we spoke to Def about that in this call. We'll pick that up as a call to action. Spoke about the educational PM articles. So again, guys, we can probably bounty this, Renee, but maybe in the first step, this will just be something done. If you're doing this is part of the active membership, and you'll get access to the coordinate round. But I think in future it'd be cool to give whoever's doing this like a I don't know, like a couple of thousand bank each time or something, in curating like a solid database of learning material. So it's something we can pick up maybe asynchronously as a guild. So I'll say that's on deck. Connect to Bankless Consulting Project. So that's in progress, right? You spoke about that, Renee, I think earlier. Now we've got our pitch deck. We can align with D-side, so that's in progress.
Sounds good.
Absolutely.
Cool. The relationships to connect with other DAO teams. That's on deck. The establishment of education programs. I feel like that's in progress now because we're getting to the meat of what we actually want to achieve as an education work stream in season 5. Learning workshops and our MVP accreditation for our first iteration of that. So maybe I can just do a write-up within this Kanban board. I'll do it in a Mo, what those themes are. This one, could we do a panel on Sobel, D-Work and Clarity? So that's, by panel you mean like a workshop, like a demonstration of how to use it? So I'm not sure who made this one.
Yeah.
I don't think some from me, I don't think. But we could include that. I feel as like first steps, fill up bullet points. So Sobel, workshop. D-Work, I can go through D-Work. It's basically just a Kanban board. It's pretty simple, but you connect your ETH wallet to it.
I can do the Sobel.
Awesome. Clarity. The rectifiers is done. Okay. So maybe we'll just get some volunteers for that. Conscious that I'm going over our time. It's like 9 PM, so I feel like we've got some clear actions from my perspective. Renee, I'm going to hand back to you, if that's okay.
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much, Swal. And I'm super excited also to see those items to come to life. If we are able to make this, then I think we are making a huge leap for this guild. So I'm really, really excited that we're setting this up. Again, call to action for all of us in this call, but also for those who are not here and help us to make these items happen. And other than that, we're at the hour. Thank you very much for joining for today. It was, as always, lovely and a great weekend. See you soon.
You too. Thanks all. Great call.
See you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.